Welcome to Wealth Intelligence Series, brought to you by DESAL-MCS Wealth Academy. In this episode, I will be focusing on the fifth step towards wealth, which is OPM, known as other people's money. One of the principles of creating wealth is what they call liquidation. Having enough money for opportunities when opportunities arise. The opportunity to build riches and wealth sometimes come instantly, but oftentimes, like it is said, opportunity meets the prepared mind. If you are prepared, you can harvest from almost every opportunity that comes for wealth. And what that means, you must be able to have money available to run that. Most opportunity that comes, you may not have the money to run it. And so what do you count on? Other people's money. And this is where the logic of loan comes in. Most people who go for loan think that loan is evil because to some extent, they are uncomfortable with the challenge that comes with loans because, to be honest with you, loans can be risky. Some business may fail and you have to pay back what you didn't even consume or eat by yourself, like we use it in our local parlance. But the challenge is that when opportunity comes and you don't have the money to facilitate those opportunities, you will lose. I believe that if you think back and do an audit of your life, you'll realize there were times opportunity came. Opportunity for supply, opportunity for contract, opportunity to build and buy, but you just did not have the money. You realize there were opportunity for wealth, but you didn't have the money. And that's why the secret to do this is called other people's money. And that's one of the principles that banks operate in. Most billionaires you see in the world today are actually using other people's money. Those who don't understand the principle of wealth save their money in banks. And those who understand the principle of wealth, considering the other people's money, go to the same bank to loan the money and do a business. And oftentimes you'll be shocked to realize that it is those in poverty that facilitate wealth for those who are rich and who are in wealth. It's funny, it's an irony. And that's why you see we keep making emphasis on mindset. And that is why we're introducing also the Wealth Club to schools. Because we need to teach them this so that they are exposed to the principle of wealth making. Because if you are not very careful with what we know about wealth making, the truth is that people take money from poor people to create wealth. And that is what other people's money do. And then I will explain to you. But you see, there is a challenge with other people's money. If you're going to get money from other people to be able to create wealth, there are certain things you must have. Certain character, certain attitude, and certain skills you must have. You must be able to measure the opportunity and the risks that you're putting people's money into. So which means you must understand business intelligence. You must understand market intelligence. You must understand how to read the environment to know what will likely work and what will not likely work. You must be able to have a margin of risks so that even when you fail, you still have little opportunity to recoup so that you're not destroyed at once. One of the next things you must develop as a skill for you to use other people's money is you must have trust. The truth is that most of the people that have built well with trust. For those of you that understand the story of Costaris Motors, that is Madoka, you'll get to realize he will tell you he built his business entirely on trust. Because he was dealing with the Japanese. And the Japanese do not play with trust. Trust is that position, that habit you develop, that character you have, that helps that anytime you make a promise, especially considering money, you are able to live up to that trust. And that is why it is necessary that when people entrust other people's money into your hand, you must be able to deliver. Otherwise, you have a challenge of using other people's money. Without trust, you cannot make the best of other people's money. But you see, you cannot also access other people's money except you have a relationship. And that was why earlier we established that relationship is a tool for wealth making. Without a good relationship, you cannot connect. And if you cannot connect, you cannot access other people's money. And that is where DESAL-MCS becomes very important. Because when people save their money, we encourage them to invest. So they are not only investing the money they save, they are also investing the pool of money from other persons to be able to create and use the channel of other people's money to be able to make money and also create riches and make wealth. But one other thing that is very crucial if you want to use other people's money is consistency. You cannot start a business today and then we don't find you tomorrow. There are those who think business is a trend, that business is just whims and caprices. So for them, this is what is selling the most today. You go into it. This is what seems to be working. You move into it. And so they are not consistent in a field. And when you're not consistent in a field and a business and a market, you're not going to get the intelligence enough to understand the ups and downs of the business, the challenges of the business, the roadblocks of the business. That is why staying consistent is very important. Even when you talk to people to invest in you, or when you come to DESAL-MCS to access loans, one of the challenges you're going to get is we will measure your consistency. How consistent are you in the business you put your hands into the choice of where you want to put other people's money to? Ability to measure that is what affects your investment opportunity. And that is why it's necessary you need to build the skills. There is more to other people's money. But since in this first season, we're just warming up the car before we take off with the speed, I will stop here for today. Stay tuned, and then you need to get more. My name is Victor Prince Dixon, inventor of Common Sense, founder Skills and Competence Factory, as well as the lead consultant for DESAL Wealth Academy.